and welcome once again to Circuit Clerk Presents. As in shows past, we try to come up with programs that are of interest to you to let you know what's going on at your Sangamon County Circuit Clerk's office. You know, we get thousands of people in our office every week throughout the year here in the Sangamon County Circuit Clerk's office, and many of those individuals don't speak English or have some type of visual or hearing impairment, and we've always struggled with a way to help those individuals out. And we think we found a great solution. We found a company called BrowseAloud that's based right here in Springfield several months ago, and we have incorporated their product into our website, if you will, and so we're here to talk about that today. So you might want to pay attention, especially if you have a special need, because we're going to show you what we think we can offer as help for you. And today, my guest from MSFNW, and we'll tell you what that is here in a minute, is Pat Morocco. Pat, how are you, sir?
Tony?
You are an individual who is connected with this company, and quite frankly, we've met before when we first put BrowseAloud on our system, and you have been a great help to our office as well as the people of Sangamon County. Tell us, if you will, Pat, what is BrowseAloud?
BrowseAloud is a assistive technology solution that assists the print-disabled community. It helps the community in various ways. The prime product, or portion of the product, is what we call hover highlighting. The hover highlighting allows an individual to just move their mouse over the text on the website, and it will read the text to the individual.
And this is something that they can do at home or wherever they have access to a computer. And I guess what I should have prefaced this with is we have a Circuit Clerk website, and the name of the website is on the bottom of your screen here and will appear throughout the program. So in order to use BrowseAloud, you have to go to our website, and there'll be what do you call it, an icon to click on. And so people with visual needs, language assistance, that type of thing. I'm trying to...
Correct. What they do is they go to your website, they click on the icon, allow them to download the BrowseAloud product to their computer. No charge to the individuals.
Excellent.
The office picks up, the Circuit Clerk's office picks up the
cost
fee for the service. It's an annual fee, service fee. And it allows the individuals to get onto your site or any of the other sites.
You know, when we first met, I asked you simple questions, since you're the professional in the area. How many people in the county, what percentage of the population in general could use services like this?
About 25% of the U.S. population has a disability with print, either visual impairments, English as a second language, dyslexia, ADD, any of these. It accounts for about 25% of the total population.
So that's a fourth of the population.
Correct.
So this is a program that really helps a large percentage of our population. And I must tell you, you had mentioned that there's an annual cost. This is probably one of the most cost-effective programs that we've ever been involved in. You're smiling because you know that's true. It's less than $2,000 for us to hook up with you folks. And again, this is something that everybody who can sign on to our website has access to. I'll tell you what, Pat, we are going to look at a computer just like the folks at home here. We're going to switch to that now, and we're going to look at the computer that your partner, Mark McBride, is operating here. Mark, you're not on camera, but good to see you, and thanks for working with us here. Okay, Pat, walk us through this situation here.
Okay. Well, you see, we're at your website right now, and you have
all the things you can click on there.
That shows our toolbar on top.
Okay.
And the first icon on the toolbar is Mark highlighted it in red. Now it's ready to read, and all he has to do is hover.
Sangamon County Circuit Clerk Anthony Delivery.
Pretty good. So the idea is move the cursor to the area that you wanted highlighted.
Correct.
Welcome to the Sangamon County Circuit Clerk website.
So it has the ability to read it. It also, as you can see, puts it up in a big 72 font across the top as a what we call the ticker.
The Sangamon County Circuit Clerk's Office serves as the administrative arm of our court system.
And it even reads it out loud. So if you can't read at all, you could hear the program.
Correct. Not only that, for the visually impaired, they can hear it, but also with that large font, it enables them to actually see it, where they may not be able to see the print because it's just too fine.
Okay, well, continue now. What are the interesting things about this program? And I might add, one thing we're specifically very proud of here is that we were the first governmental agency in the state of Illinois to have this. Is that not correct?
First governmental agency, that's
All right.
correct. Since we implemented it here, we've implemented it with Jesse White's office, Secretary of State. In the process right now of the Cook County Recorder's office, or Clerk's office.
Two huge offices, so it's nice to know that little old Sangamon County here is thinking ahead, and boy, are we happy to bring this. We'll continue with your demonstration.
The next icon just allows take a bulk of text, like if you wanted to highlight maybe a whole paragraph or 2 paragraphs, and does it manually in that form. Does the same thing.
The Sangamon County Circuit Clerk's Office.
So it's going to read those highlighted paragraphs.
Right. It just allows you to select a larger piece of text. The next icon is a word translator. It'll translate, and it'll also read this in 4 different languages. It has English, Spanish, Italian, French, and German, actually 5 now.
So all right, now...
It'll take a word by word and translate
Word
it.
by word, okay.
The next button is a dictionary, built-in dictionary. If they come to something on your website that they don't understand, they click on that word, and it'll bring up a dictionary, definition, and read it to them also.
Now, a journey or route all the way around a particular place or area. They took an extended tour of Europe. We took a quick circuit of the park, a 10-day coach circuit of the island.
Interesting, okay.
The next icon is our screen masking capability. Especially useful for those with ADD, dyslexia. Helps them focus on it. They can, it can be, the whole screen can be masked as you're seeing right now, or it can be reversed and it's only masking the line that they're trying to read. They're again just trying to...
it highlights or specifies somehow.
Kind of goes back to the ruler under the line for grade school, and pointing with your finger. It just helps those that have a hard time keeping focused on reading.
Now, Pat, your company is a computer
consulting company. Information technology consulting firm with a specialty in web accessibility. Okay,
so my next question, and the obvious question, is obviously you have had to go to medical experts and say, you know, this is what people with dyslexia will need. This is what people with, you know, some type of visual impairment might require. So you have actually studied the needs of people with special needs and come up with this program.
Well, we didn't develop it. It's developed by a company. BrowseAloud is a sister company to a company called TextHelp. TextHelp is a company in Ireland that has developed educational software for a number of years. So they took their educational background, brought it to BrowseAloud, and decided that they would come up with a product that was free for people with disabilities. Because a lot of the software out there for people with disabilities is very expensive.
You bet.
This is free to the end user. Now it's a matter of building their enabled sites like yours into a huge family.
And speaking of our website, we have probably one of the largest websites in the circuit clerk industry, if you will, here in the state of Illinois. We have, or we did at one time, and we still might have the largest information-based of products that we put out there. So this will work on anything we have, except it won't translate a video, obviously, but it'll translate any text under a picture or...
We'll even read your PDF files.
Right.
And
now we have, if you'll look at our website, you'll see that we have forms, we have informational pieces there. It'll translate all of that for you?
Translate that, correct.
Okay. Well, let's see some more of what it'll do.
The last icon let's see, we did the masking. The next icon allows for people to go to your website if they want to select a page of text or a PDF file, whichever. They can make an MP3 file out of it so they can listen to it.
And that's what you're doing here, I take it,
Right.
Mark? Okay.
This action actually works through our server in Ireland, so it's a little bit longer process, but not too long. Just
Okay.
a matter of a few seconds, and it'll take that text.
Well, why would you want to convert text to an MP3?
Let's.
I mean, everybody's
prime
familiar with an
example would
MP3 is.
be, let's take it to maybe a county level. You have a board meeting. Someone wants to read the board meeting minutes. They really don't
I
have time.
see.
They decide,
Okay.
I want to take it with me and listen to it on a device. while I'm
That's a
driving.
neat idea. Or if it's a particular form or something, they
Or
can.
someone that is completely blind. Someone can download information off your website for them.
Right.
They can listen
and say,
to it.
listen to this. All right, interesting. Okay, Mark, take it away there.
Like I say, it just takes a
Sure.
A
Well,
minute
and that's,
for it to
you know,
download.
there's a lot of computing going on here. I mean, this is not an easy task to translate verbiage like that.
Daily, more than 100 cases are filed at the Civil Division in room 405 of the Sangamon County Building. The largest volume of filings are either small claims or law magistrate cases, and are assigned numbers as SC, small claims, or LM.
All right, so there is an advantage for converting text to an MP3.
Right.
Now,
The beautiful thing about it takes a little bit of time, but the beautiful thing about the product is it takes no room on your server. So it doesn't slow down any of the functions that your office
so
is doing.
it takes it off of our server, puts it onto yours then? or-
Actually, our server does the translating. Most of 90% of the product is worked off of the local computer, the individual's computer.
Now, you hear a voice on there. Can you change that voice?
It'll change with accents. It has many different voice, German accent, Italian accent, all the languages it transfers to, Spanish accent to it. Now,
It's
if
kind of
you
like my
had
GPS
Spanish
system.
print-
You can tell which one you want.
That's
Okay.
exactly right. For instance, if you had a page in Spanish, it would read it in Spanish. If you had a page in
Italian, it would.
Italian, it would. Italian, German, French, Spanish. Now, or if someone wanted to hear it in English, but they wanted a Spanish accent to it or Italian accent, it will read it that way. So they're reading it in English, but they're actually putting the Italian
Sure,
accent.
maybe
to it.
something that they're more comfortable in.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pat, we're going to go to a break here, and when we come back, we'll talk more about Browse Aloud, and I must tell you, this is one of the most exciting additions to our toolbox to help our community, and we're glad that you're a part of it with us. So.
We're proud that you were the first to take it on.
I like it when he says that. We'll be back with Pat Morocco and Browse Aloud in just a minute, so don't go away. We are back with Pat Morocco, who represents MSF&W. By the way, let's tell people what that stands for, MSF&W.
MSF&W is a consulting firm here in Springfield, started in 1992. John Morocco, Daryl Stoddard, Bob Fehrenbach, and Pat Walsh. And local company, have done a lot of private and government consulting work. Actually helped write the standards for web accessibility for the state of Illinois.
Fantastic. Well, and you know, this web accessibility, that's a big thing now because the web is something I heard the other day where the penetration in this country for market share, if you will, is like 75–80% of the people now have computers or access to computers, and websites are a big deal.
Yes, it is. government passed Section 508 for accessibility, and unfortunately it makes the comment that everyone will strive for accessibility, but it's hard to establish a degree. We like to refer as BrowseAloud as the icing on the cake. Brian Arup and your department has done a great job of making your website accessible, and BrowseAloud lets people know that by using it.
Well, you know, we have a commitment to all of our taxpayers, and you had stated earlier that 25% of the population across the country can use these special features. So what we're doing is making a service available to the people that support us, the taxpayers. So we're happy to do that. But you had mentioned that it meets certain compliance standards, Section 508 as an example. So there are, and it's an awful easy thing to say, you will create this program that does this, as opposed to having to create it. It's two different things.
Correct.
But so you folks are doing some wonderful things there, and with your partnership with BrowseAloud, that it's really moving us light years ahead of where we were just a few months ago. And as you said earlier, we're the first governmental body in Illinois to do this, so we're happy to do that. But let me tell you something. Before we signed on with you, we had several organizations like the Springfield Center for Independent Living, the Coalition for Citizens with Disabilities here in Illinois. We had the Illinois Assistive Technology Program, and they all checked into it and they all said, this is what we want. This is fantastic. It doesn't solve 100% of the world's problems, but it solves a good percentage of what we have here. So let's show the audience once again some of the things that this program will do. Matter of fact, speaking of some endorsements there, Mark McBride, show what we've got there. Mark McBride is the Senior Account Executive with BrowseAloud Sales, and he's operating our computer here, off camera I might add. So highlight what was said by the professionals about this program.
Wilhelmina Gunther, Executive Director of the Illinois Assistive Technology Program, commented, "I'm excited to see that the Sangamon County Circuit Clerk's Office, a local governmental entity, has stepped up to meet people's needs by adding BrowseAloud to their site. Hopefully others will follow in their footsteps."
And we are pleased to do that, and we are almost as excited about it as you are, because this is what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Well, right, and it's really nice to have someone in your position and someone locally, just to build sales from. Most of the clients that we have are closer to the Chicagoland area. Harper College, College of Lake County. We have the, as I was saying, the Cook County Clerk's Office now.
Well, and this is something usually that a larger office with a much bigger budget would undertake, I would assume. So it's kind of unusual that little Sangamon counties.
Well, that's true. That's true. You've done it. But like I say, Brian's done a wonderful job on that website, making it accessible.
Brian
so
Arup
the
is our IT specialist here.
The product works very well with that. If the accessibility is not built into the website, then the BrowseAloud product doesn't work as function as well.
Okay, let's go back and talk about some of the functions. We've got hover highlighting, we've got screen magnification, a dictionary, text to MP3.
But we can take you through a few of the options, because as a website owner, you have some options that you can
So it's
change.
customizable.
Very customizable. But the end user has many, many options that they can do. For instance, on the speech end of it, we can speed up or slow down the speech. Is that where you are, Mark, right now?
This is a sample speech.
That's a test
That's
sample.
a fast one. All right.
This is a test sample of speech.
So if whatever your capabilities of understanding are, you can tailor this program
Correct.
to match those.
For instance,
okay.
if someone were using this product and perhaps using it in Spanish, they might want that inflection. They might want a faster saying. Someone that has a problem with ADD, dyslexia, they might want to slow that speech down so they can stay focused on what's being read.
Okay.
Have the option of doing different color settings. We have the yellow background and blue print is our standard. It seems to be one of the most acceptable. And a lot of people with dyslexia fall into the color blind. So different colors reflect better for them.
So all these things have been thought of. Every color is there. Every language is there. You know, translatable words are there for a specific reason.
Right. The font can be changed so that if they don't need it up into a complete 72 font, they can reduce it down. They can still have the ticker. If they don't want the ticker can be taken completely off the screen for them.
How hard is this to operate? I mean, for someone to learn?
As long as they can use a mouse, that's about all it really takes.
Everything is pretty much self-explanatory, I would assume.
It really is.
All right, what are we looking at here now? This is our Browse Aloud icon that you've clicked on, and you get this page. Now, in order for you to get Browse Aloud at home, again, it is free. It is available to anybody with a computer who has access to the internet.
Correct.
You can download this. Now, real quick, what if you don't own a computer? You can go to the library, I would assume. And
correct. Even institutions that have lockdown rules about not downloading onto their computer, this program can be downloaded to a flash drive, and they can take that home with them. If they go somewhere else, they can plug it in and have all their own settings. That they just carry the program with them.
Now, will this work on any program or just the Sangamon County Circuit Clerk website?
It'll only work on the Sangamon County Circuit Clerk's website or any other enabled website in the BrowseAloud family.
So you could, as you say, put it on some type of memory stick and go to the library or go to your office or your college or whatever and work with our website on that particular computer.
Correct.
Okay, let's talk about how you download it to your computer once you've accessed us.
As you've added to your website the BrowseAloud logo, and they simply click on that logo, it brings them to that page. They're able to click on a download, it goes right to the download page. And
all right. Now, is the download page, if you're visually impaired, can you still read that? I mean, does it offer those features?
Yes, yes.
They're working on that right now? Okay, okay. I was
what they're working on is taking the download page and making the download button bigger. So it's more
all right, so you would just
visual
click on that, and things would progress, and then...
Correct.
And then what happens?
They have their download.
How long does that take?
Oh, it's a very quick download. Less than a minute.
Now,
and once it's downloaded, then down on the bottom, it'll show the BrowseAloud icon.
Okay,
which
so it's
is
always there.
Like a target with a check mark through it. So when they go to a site such as Library of Congress, House of Representatives, U.S. Senate, and they open that website, if that site is enabled, it'll automatically come up with the yellow cursor and the logo down at the bottom in the tray. So then if they go to a site that's not enabled, that will not pop up for them.
Excellent. So once it's downloaded, your screen will look like this. It'll have the top...
the toolbar that's floatable. Okay. They can move that to wherever they have some empty real estate, depending on what page they're reading. They wouldn't want to cover that picture of the Sangamon County Clerk.
That's probably the best place for it, in my opinion. What have we not talked about Browse Aloud here? This is a fantastic program. This makes a large part of the world accessible to a certain segment of the population who heretofore hasn't had that accessibility. And I would assume there are other companies that do this type of thing. There are there's technologies that are being developed that are going to just explode one of these days.
Correct. And there are other screen readers out there. There just aren't screen readers that have all the functions that BrowseAloud has.
Well, that was my next question. What is different about BrowseAloud than perhaps some other program I
feel the main